Yay Networks.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Casillejos, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Hey, welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Everyone's welcome here, and today we're breaking down Hey Stephen.
Can't help it if there's no one else. I can't help myself.
Hey Stephen is the fourth track on Taylor Swift's 2008 album Fearless and her 2021 re-recorded version, Fearless, Taylor's version. So what's this about, everybody?
Ooh, I think something I love about Hey Stephen is that it is very straightforward.
I know, we kind of have all the answers. There's not a ton of Easter eggs.
Theorizing.
She's put it all out there. He's put it all out there.
Yeah, so Hey Stephen is written about Stephen Lyles from the band Love and Theft, who opened for her on the Fearless tour back in 2008. And when the album was released, she actually just texted him saying, hey, track 4.
It actually wasn't track 4 that she texted him.
Yeah, it's weird. Okay, so we have this clip of Taylor actually talking about this guy Stephen.
I had an awesome experience with this last record with a song called Hey Stephen, because this was a guy who opened up a couple shows for me on tour. It was just, talk to him a couple times and, would hang out at catering or whatever. But it was never anything like he would ever know that I liked him. Because I don't ever confess that sort of thing in real life. But I really do like to confess it in this fantasy music life that I get to live. So I wrote this song called Hey Stephen. And I sent Stephen a text message and I was like, hey, track 5.
Isn't that weird? So I saw this interview. It was New York Times. So it's a pretty big interview. So this interview was a year after it was released. So did she just misspeak?
I think she had to.
But listen, track 5 is iconic for her. It's all the big, sad, super emotional songs. So I don't think she would just mess up. I fell down this giant rabbit hole of, did it not become track 5, the track 5 that we know today, until later? When did she decide track 5 was going to be the big, sad songs of every album?
Track 5 on Fearless is White Horse.
Yeah.
Princess, this ain't a
And those are always her super sad songs. And Hey Stephen's not the super crazy sad song.
Why did she say track 5? That drives me insane.
My gut instinct says that she misspoke. Because you're right. Like,
she would know.
At this point, all we had is her debut album and Fearless. So maybe the track 5 thing just hadn't
caught on at that point.
Yeah, at that point, maybe. What I do love about Hey Stephen and her just being so forward about, hey, it's about this guy Stephen from Love and Theft or whatever, is that for years, myself included, for years, everybody thought it was about Stephen Coletti.
I know, from
the
Laguna
Hills.
Beach? Oh,
Yeah,
the Hills.
Laguna Beach, the Hills, whatever, because he was in the White Horse music video.
Oh.
And I think it's great because with this re-release of Fearless and everything, people are talking about this on TikTok now, and I saw someone talk about Hey Stephen on TikTok, and the comments were like, wait, I thought it was about Stephen Coletti until today. Like, people are still... And I'm sure somebody listening to this episode is going to be like, wait, oh my God.
Because he's not like a huge person in the lore of Taylor Swift.
Right.
He kind of pops up here. I'm not sure if he pops up anywhere else.
Well, in the little booklet, in the original, the message is Love and Theft. So the answer was right there. I don't...
All along.
People?
All along.
He has commented on it. He told People Magazine, it's totally flattering to have someone write a song like that for you.
He also said a little bit of a negative comment. He said, she doesn't really write very many nice songs about guys, so I think he's flattered.
Okay, so I think one of my favorite things about Taylor Swift, we obviously know she writes songs about people and about her relationships and love and everything. And in Hey Stephen, very straightforward, she says, all those other girls, well, they're beautiful, but would they write a song for you? Ha. And we'll get into the laugh later. But something really cool is that since this Stephen was also in a band, he also wrote a song about her.
And everything inside of me is telling me yes, that it's you and me, honey, it's our chance. This world is going crazy, so baby, what do you say? We try to make it anyway.
And what's crazy is he named it Hey Taylor.
That would have been actually pretty good.
That song is called Try to Make It Anyway.
Yeah, he said, I really just love songwriting, and this song has become one of my favorite songs I've ever written.
And we just played the chorus, but the first lines to the song says like her curly hair and cowboy boots or something. So it's kind of like how she always tells small details.
Mm-hmm.
He did the same thing.
And so obviously the feeling was kind of mutual because when Stephen was talking in the interview about Taylor texting him and saying like, hey, I wrote a song for you, he said he texted her back, well, that's funny because I wrote a song about you too. He said it was really weird because there was this moment I wasn't expecting her to say that she wrote a song for me, and I think it was a mutual thing on her end too. She wasn't expecting him to say I wrote a song about you, but she asked me what the words were, so I told her a little bit, and then he released the single not too long after that.
Whenever I was listening to the song, this kind of stuck out to me.
Can't help it if I wanna kiss you in the rain. So
Who has done that?
It is not fun.
You have done it.
Sure,
then.
kiss in the rain, yeah. But I mean, it's not as romantic as you think it sounds.
Because I've never had that notebook moment where it's just like, I can't help but just make out with you in the rain. No, if I'm in the rain, I'm taking off to go get covered. I want to go somewhere. I've done like the staged out on a romantic vacation in the rain underneath an umbrella kissing, but that's it. And that's just because my friends were there to capture it. So it's like, oh, okay, we'll sit here for a minute and act like we love each other.
Well, Lacey, the next few days it is going to be raining where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Is your husband working all weekend? He's a firefighter, so he's gone. Is he working all weekend?
He'll be home some, but I bet you if I say let's go outside and kiss,
Yeah.
he'd be like, no, thank you.
Be like, it's for science. I need the research. I need to know if Taylor's lyrics speak truth.
Will somebody go kiss in the rain and report?
Well, I
on us at
have, but I mean, it wasn't like caught up in the moment romance. It was
Right.
like we're sitting inside. I was like, hey, it's raining outside. You want to go make out?
front yard or backyard?
Backyard, and he was game.
So I think
sure.
Amy's volunteering is what I'm hearing.
I think we need to change it to front yard, and then we'll talk to one of your neighbors.
Okay, so I've said this before in our other episodes, but I love comparing the little tiny differences in the original Fearless songs and Taylor's versions. And one of the very first things that I was looking for in the entire album was the laugh that she does in Hey Stephen. So here's the original. Oh my God. And here is the new one.
That was the original. Just so everyone hears it again. Original.
Oh, okay.
Okay, new one. Oh, way
Isn't
different.
she the cutest?
It's more carefree.
But it's so it's so funny because like the original one is just two like ha-has and the new one is like ha ha ha. So when I'm singing along, I'm so used to the original one that I still say ha ha. Does that make sense? Do I sound crazy? Do I sound insane?
It makes sense.
Okay, we're gonna play a game, Anna. Which one am I playing?
Okay.
New or old? Okay.
Ha ha.
Don't look at my
I
screen.
cannot see yours.
Okay. Which one is this?
That's the new one.
Correct.
Where's the dinger?
Now you need to try to sing with it. Now play the new
okay.
one and see if Anna can sing with it.
Nailed it.
I love her. I remember when the day that Fearless came out was one of the very first things I like ran to Nick and I was like, did you hear the laugh in Hey Stephen?
I love watching. There's a lot of reaction videos of Swifties listening
Mm-hmm.
and reacting to the subtle, tiny differences. And when something like this happens, they flip out. They lose their minds at the new laugh.
It's a big deal. Because could you imagine if she didn't include it?
Oh yeah, she had to include it at some point.
I can't even think of that
It's
world.
iconic. It's like Lady Gaga not wearing a meat dress. She has to do the laugh.
So that's all that I have, and I think that we have for Hey Stephen. But I want to know if anyone else's partner has pulled this card yet. So my husband sent me some band the other day. He sends me YouTube videos and then wants me to watch them. I mean, I guess that's why you would send it to somebody, but I never do. And then he'll like,
Hey, here's a cookie. Don't eat it.
then he'll question me on it later. Oh, did you watch that video? Oh, surprising that you didn't. So I actually watched this video that he sent me. And then he's asking me, well, what'd you think about it? And I was like, nah, it really wasn't my style. It was fine, whatever. He responded with, well, I'm going to create a podcast about the band and all of their Easter eggs. And I was like, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That's funny.
Yeah, so he quickly threw that up in my face.
Well, that is it for this episode of 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. What is your favorite Easter egg from Hey Stephen? What are you excited for us to cover? Give us your thoughts. You can always hit us up. All of the ways to contact us are in the description of this podcast. And you can even go to iTunes and you can write a wonderful review, just like She gave us a 5-star review, right, Anna?
Yes, and she said, I was literally just listening back to old album breakdowns and thinking, wow, I need a start to finish life story of Taylor so I can get all these references and this drama, and now my year has been made. That's in all caps. I haven't even listened to it yet, but the album reviews actually bring me to tears. I just got into her music with folklore, so I appreciate your thorough explanations, and I also just love hearing them talk about Taylor. She's a genius storyteller, and this podcast will be my cliff notes. Great job on the teaser videos and all your Easter eggs. I can't wait. Wow, just wow. So Heather, you wrote that before you listened. Now that you have listened, give us an update.
Yeah, let us know. And so join us on the very next podcast. You can go listen to it right now. We're breaking down some emergency breaking Taylor Swift news. She was on the Stephen Colbert Show, and we're going to break down every single Easter egg in that interview and why we think she's going to record this as her next re-recorded album. Here's a little preview.
So joining me now from the studio where she's been re-recording her albums, Taylor Swift.
Thanks for listening to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.